Hey, welcome back to the Real Estate Brainstorming podcast with Ryan Huggins and Tom Phelan. Today, we have a great episode for you. What a great week, by the way. Last week it was in real estate, had some great things happen, had another closing, which was really exciting. So super pumped about that for my clients. They're really, really exciting, but also an amazing week ahead coming to us again in the real estate market, amazing things happening. Today, we have a special conversation we're going to have about joining EXP. So really excited. Tom Phelan, the co-host of Real Estate Brainstorming, is going to tell us why he joined EXP today. I'll go over my reasoning as well. Tom is officially in EXP as of 2 days ago, so very exciting for him. Super stoked to have him on board and join the team. So for all of you realtors out there that are looking for a home, Tom and I can definitely help you as far as that goes. If you're looking for a new brokerage, want to make a switch, we're going to talk about that today. So I'm going to hand it over to my co-host, Tom, so he can introduce himself and we'll get kicked off.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to our next podcast. Today, as Ryan has said, we're going to delve into a little of what's going out there and why realtors, I think in record numbers, are changing tenants. And some of them are fairly large teams. I'm amazed. When I was researching real estate companies to go to work for, EXP, of course, was in the top list. I started noticing, boy, EXP, this team came over, whether it be Iowa or Oklahoma or Nevada or California, came over with 10 agents, 20 agents, a couple of them 30 agents. And one of the biggest concerns they had was how do they maintain that sales force? Would they lose them? And most of them, the experience has been very good. They haven't, and production's gone up. But we're going to talk about not just production. That is your good as your last sale. If you don't have one in the pipeline, you're dead in the water. We're going to talk about many of the things that EXP offers, I think, that are stellar compared to other companies. And in fact, I predict that some of the bigger companies are going to be copying. I guess that's the highest form of flattery, is for someone to copy you. But I came over to EXP, and candidly, I've been out of the market for a long time. I've been in it for a long time as an educator, but in the trenches, so to speak, was the technology, because I'm older. I'm not savvy like Ryan is. He probably sleeps and thinks computers. So I need you to slow down a little and kind of walk me through it. Well, they have, with their double your income coaching modules and with EXP library modules and actually avatars, you can go in and check with the best. And there's always training classes running that tell you about how to hook up, what to do. Do you need this? What are the priorities? The last thing on my list, this may sound a little strange, was the split. I'm not going to go to work for someone for 50-50. Those days are over. But whether, frankly, it's 75-25, which is kind of a hallmark for someone like Keller Williams, because I did look at them here in Key West. They have a good presence. 75-25, and also, which I will bring up, hope I don't step on anyone's toes, but I don't know how else to do it, but to recite the facts. In Keller Williams, they had a 6% royalty fee. So if you had a $10,000 commission, you'd be down to $7,500, 25 goes to the broker, and then you pay 6% off the 10,000, that's 600. And between what we offer, 80-20, and what Keller Williams offered, it was about $1,100 difference on 10,000. That's quite a bit. But that alone was not the reason. A brick and mortar location, which Keller Williams has down here, is not the reason. It was primarily, I'm careful how I say this, but a downline, okay, of getting excited people under me that will produce, that I get a little bit, just a pinch of what they make, and they get a pinch of what people below them make. And the payoffs in numbers, you have 5 agents, 50 agents, they all get agents under them. But it was the stock. And I'm going to just come right out and say it. To my knowledge, EXP is the only one doing it. We're not talking about profit sharing. If the office, the franchise makes money that month, we're talking about that you can buy EXP stock at a discount if you meet certain requirements. And also, if you cap, And by the way, I think Keller Williams was a $40,000 cap, where it's 16,000 with EXP. Is you can qualify to have, they call it an icon status, to where you are reimbursed for that money taken from you in stock. How does stock play for you, Ryan? Was it maybe the leading reason, or how about your priorities?
Well, you know what's really interesting for me? It was not the leading. I am really big into crypto, and I'm getting into stocks. And it was interesting because talking with you when we were going through the interview process, you were interviewing us to see if you wanted to join our team, and we were interviewing you to make sure it was a good fit and everything. You started talking about the stock options being something that was important. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe I should look into this a little bit more. And, stocks go up, stocks go down, but for long term, it's nice to have that extra coming in that you have as basically a safety net or a cushion or some sort of filler in your income. And so because of you, I started looking more into it, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, Tom is right. I need to find, because like for me, in the crypto world, it's ups and downs, it's volatility, really cool, and so on. And then you were like, well, that is a lot of fun. I completely agree. But like long term, wouldn't it be smart to have some stocks that are growth stocks that you can keep in place, and you can have those to back up your income later? And I was like, wow, that's really very, very smart. And then you started talking to me about how most realtors never end up retiring. They work, well, some of them just love it, so they stay in the business, but some of them have to have transactions for the rest of their life because they didn't put themselves in a position to have a retirement or a nest egg or anything like that. And then you started just pointing out more stuff. Like, it was cool. I joined EXP personally because of the coaching. I'm a new agent, been in the business for a year, and I needed a little bit more steroids for my training. My brokerage, I was at a very, very great boutique brokerage. They did very well for themselves. It was 3 brokers, and I was the only agent. I was basically the seller's agent there, or the buyer's agent, I mean. And they were so good that it was hard for them to take a step back and put themselves in a beginner's shoes and start training. So when I ran into Brad Vanderwall and the Double Your Income coaching team, that's what really brought me over. But I was just excited during the interview process that you started telling me about, hey man, think about the future and having some stocks and some retirement. So that was really good.
Well, I've been with Remax, I've been with Keller Williams over the years. I'm trying to think of who else, Prudential, whatever, before they merged. And this may sound odd, but I quickly learned, because I also taught 1031 exchanging to real estate classes, and I would travel, including Minnesota, of all places, being paid to go up there and teach a class. So I got to see a lot of realtors in a lot of different areas in the country. And if I had enough time and got to chat with some of them, I always noticed that the most comfortable realtors, not maybe the dynamo, the gorilla in the room who's making a bundle and is just a warrior, the ones who sat back, enjoyed it, they're talking about cruises are going on, spending time with the family, but they're doing well, were people, Ryan, realtors who owned rental income property. And I can't get stats, but I dare guess the majority of realtors who reach retirement age are not sitting back with a 4-plex, no less a 6 or 8 unit apartment house, no less a 12 or 16 unit apartment house that's been paid off over time, and a cash cow. Because if you're making good money, just calculate sometime what you have to make, what interest rate, return rate. Say you want $50,000 a year to retire. That's not a whole lot today. It's in 5%, $1 million. It's huge. And these realtors don't do it. That's why I got so involved with, and we'll talk about it sometime more in depth, using an IRA, using a 401k to do what? Buy real estate, not invest in Wall Street. They have 95% of the action now. I'm talking about you owning that. And I know you're looking now, Ryan. You're getting much more involved in sensing what's out there. Maybe it starts with a single family home. Maybe it starts with one that's outside your area because it's just too costly in your area. Or I call them Titanic investments. They just don't pan out. They don't pay out. But I like that aspect. that's one wing of the retirement airplane to me is personal real estate I own that's income producing. The other wing of the airplane is stock. And I'll go back to it again. Up and down, you bet. But I wouldn't even hazard to guess where EXP stock will be in 10, 15, 20, 25 years.
Yeah, so let me go ahead. I'm going to share the screen here so we can take a look at this program. So this is the agent equity program. You can enroll to be at 5% of every transaction commission with EXP stock issued at a 10% discount. Eligibility, all agents and brokers in good standing with EXP are eligible to participate in the program. Issuance of shares is payment of commission. By submitting this electronic form, participant authorizes EXP to set aside 5% of participants' net amount of contractor dollars after splits, fees, and any other required withholdings share for payment on transactions which close in participant's name, commencing in the transaction's closing on or after participant's onboarding date, right? And then the price of issued shares, the price of shares issued under the program shall be at a 10% discount to the fair market value of EXPI's common stock as determined by the closing market price of EXP's common stock on the last trading day of the month, during which the closing on transactions from which a shares for payment has been authorized.
That's a killer plan. I mean, there are 30 million 401ks in the country, company 401ks. And one of the biggest appeals, believe it or not, it's not profits, although profits are a big concern for the employee. It's, gee, it comes out of my paycheck. I don't miss it as much. It forces me to regularly save. And that same ideology should be used by a realtor. Now, unfortunately, with a realtor, often it's feast or famine. You make 10 grand, 30,000, 3 months, 4 months, nothing, what have you. It's a little more difficult. You probably want to keep as much of that money, but if you keep your eye on the ball, and what we should talk about sometime too, Ryan, is twin brothers, one who buys that stock through at 10% discount through Schwab or some brokerage account versus the other brother who buys it through an individual 401k, Roth. And what is the difference? Assuming they both went up the same, had the same number of shares, in 25 years, yours is taxable, your twin brother's is tax-free. Which one do you want? I don't think there's a question for that. So there's ways you can hold it as well to make it even more attractive, more incredible. But getting back to EXP and why I joined, I also felt that EXP really had a touch with what's going on in the real estate industry, that being cloud-based. It's, I think their brick and mortar 5 years from now are going to be seldom. And I think 10 years from now, it's going to be rare, unless that broker perhaps smartly bought the building. And I guarantee if that's the case, that realtor is going to be thinking, what if I went cloud and rented this building out for income?
Yeah, isn't that the truth? That's very
Absolutely.
fun.
Oh, yeah, they might have a beautiful building somewhere, and that makes total sense to me. And that's where it's going. And my age, my category is we're the ones that are turning it over to the younger ones. And the reason I bring that up is having read about transactions, and you know this, Ryan, older people, baby boomers, a little more reticent, a little more reluctant, a little more suspicious of DocuSign, e-app, doing everything through technology. But lots of deals are done, don't get me wrong, lots of them. But you drop down a peg to the next group, and it's very common. You get into millennials or below, and they're going, what paperwork? What are you talking about? I mean, it's just, so look where it's going, folks. You realtors that go out there and invest your time and get started, you better be thinking about where it's going. And that is a brick and mortar free real estate industry. It's going to be all technology.
That's a great point when it comes to all of those things, right? So we're talking about the cloud-based brokerage that EXP offers. So my favorite thing, let's say, for example, let's use our example. The other day, you and I were doing an onboarding process. We're getting you all signed up. And there was a part in the process that I was like, I don't know how to do that, right? Because I'm still new to EXP, been there only since
Right.
March. You're the first person that I've been like actually walking through the steps of onboarding. It's very simple. We filled out an application. After the application process went through, we both had a question. We were like, wait a minute. So what did I do? I clicked on a button on my computer and it put me literally at the brokerage office. I didn't have to get dressed. And then, you don't have to like do your hair. You don't have to put on your clothes. Well, you have to have some clothes on, but actually you don't. I mean, if you want to go crazy, because you are an avatar in a world, right?
Right.
But anyway, so I clicked a button and it literally just transported me into the brokerage office. And then I went over and I simply went to, and then of course, what's cool is you can sort by which department you need to go to. I clicked on the onboarding department. It poofed me into the onboarding room and I talked to someone. Hey, I have a transaction, or I have a new person we're onboarding. His name is Tom. And they said, what's his email? I gave him your email. Oh, here he is in the system. Oh yeah, here, he forgot to do this part. Let me go ahead and reset it for you. Boom. And then it was like the craziest, easiest thing. It was so nice.
Well, and I definitely know from my years in the business, you're trying to get an answer from a broker, and candidly, he or she often is out trying to make a living by selling. And a couple hours, I'll catch you after lunch. They don't come back. Next day, they're in meetings, and suddenly 3 or 4 days go by. I can't wait that long. You and I, prior to this firing up this podcast, we're talking about EXP offers transactional administrator. Yep. And you and I both agree that we'll gladly pay it. And as you pointed out, Ryan, it's paid if you have a transaction. Okay, not just thinking about it. But the point is, you can have the transaction expert take it from writing the offer to counter offers, handling the counter offers, acceptance, inspections, appraisal, walk you all the way through it. Because to me, time's money. And I don't want to be taking these things or running these things around or whatever. I'm better off talking to people, meeting people. It could be an art exhibition opening where I'm schmoozing and meeting people. It could be a book signing. It could be lots of things. I love those because I enjoy them and they're low key. I'm not going in there like a shark looking to pounce on someone, but almost inevitably it comes up, what do you do? And what do you think of the market and what have you? And so I think that's another thing that EXP offers is, and as you know, well, I am on the cusp now of writing for Double Your Income Coaching about the IRA, why you should have one as a realtor, or you should consider it, and how to prospect with it, which to me is important. For example, Ryan, you may know a lot about crypto coins, but do you know how to prospect? Well, number one, you're not selling them, but let's assume you were. You went to work for some company. That's a whole different thing. Okay. And that's what I'm working on and will be teaching, including the 401k, including 1031 exchanging. These are very, very unique systems. And that's one reason I think EXP jumped on it, our relationship. No one else is doing it. I came close with Gary Keller quite a while back, but it just never came to be of how important to know those things and use them for prospecting to help your clients build wealth.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's really great about that, like you said too, EXP is a very, very large company, right? And there's different teams that are a part of EXP. So when you are going to join EXP, if you are going to join EXP, make sure you do your research, make sure you're joining a team that offers you what you're looking for. So like I said before, when I first joined EXP, I was looking for mentorship and coaching. Mm-hmm. EXP offers mentorship and coaching, but with Double Your Income Coaching, our specific team with Brad and you and me and all of our team and all of the different coaching that we offer, the 15 different live coaches, personal coaches for our team members, specifically, where we teach people lead generation, we teach people how to do, like you said, as a real estate agent, build wealth. Also teach real estate agents how to use that to prospect. Like you said, I do the YouTube training. We have TikTok training. We have every potential leverage of training with double your income coaching. Now, EXP offers a lot, but on top of that, with what we're building, it's unique. No one else has it. And that's why when people are going to join EXP, I'm really excited about when they join you and they join me and our whole organization, because it's really something special that they're really getting a part of.
Well, one thing is we're doing, I think is unique, is we're rolling out like the IRA and prospecting. We're rolling out, excuse me, literally a drip system that a realtor can employ. I'm the kind of guy that I just like to turn the computer on and walk away. I want it to be pretty automated. And it's going to be where the persons get to use your database. And if you're an existing realtor, they're contacted with a non-confrontational, non-pushy tidbit about 1031 exchanging or the IRA, did you know, or 401k, And if they want to follow up, they can. And if they do, they'll get a video free complimentary. And it goes into much more detail, but it always is slanted towards consider real estate. And I'll make a bold statement here because I've never been clearer than this, is I teach all about the IRA and what you should know about it. I'm not a proponent of the IRA. I'm not a proponent of the company 401k. And if you see my course or whatever, you'll know why. And I quote some of the biggest sources out there, big magazine articles, journalists have written about it. Okay. I love acquiring simple rental property, but not leaving it there, 1031 exchanging systematically. That if you start out with, hold on to your seat, Ryan, 25,000. Okay, but we're not talking about Laguna Beach or where I am, Key West or San Francisco. We're talking about, could be Georgia, could be Oklahoma, but you buy that nice little brick single family home that systematically, if you're young enough, you could exchange that into a duplex, into a fourplex, and eventually into an 8 unit. So by the time you retire, it's mortgage free and you have a killer cash flow. That's what every realtor in the business should be doing.
So what's exciting is if someone were to join EXP on our team,
correct,
they would be able to go to a training, learn that information, and then on a weekly basis, do a live Q&A with you where they can
correct,
actually get one-on-one attention. You can answer any questions specifically to that person, which is really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And to clarify, with the drip system we're going to be rolling out, it's the same thing. It's almost like fishing. What do I do? Well, let me grab the pole and let me help you reel it in. Let me show you the best technique to use. Their realtor isn't going to be abandoned. So they get a call. They're asking about, could I do a farm? Could I do this? Something that's just way beyond their perhaps grasp. You'd have to watch some of my things. I'll get on the phone with them. We'll make an appointment, get on the phone with that client and help try to get that listing to sell that house in exchange or sell it, okay, and don't do an exchange. It doesn't always merit doing an exchange. The point is I am there for even coaching them through with that client. I don't know anyone that does that.
Yeah, I don't either. And another thing, so we're still on training, the EXP training. Again, going back to why I started working here when I found Brad and the double your income coaching team. But also, what really happened, and I think a lot of people, like you talk about your generation, my generation, I'm in the millennial generation. A lot of us have that like passive aggressive way of dealing with things. Like for me, my brokers were so good and they were so busy, like you said, reaching out to them started feeling, it wasn't passive aggressive. I guess I'm using the wrong word, but to reach out to them felt uncomfortable to me. Like I was shy. It was just weird. I felt like if I asked them a question, they were going to look down on me. Because in this modern age, for me, like where I learn everything is YouTube, and so I go learn at my pace with watching people that I want to learn from. And so sometimes it was scary or hard to reach out to my broker and ask a question because I felt like I was going to look not smart. So I wanted to show what, even if you're not on our team specifically, I'm going to show what EXP offers here, just in general for training and how powerful this training is. And if you're not, by the way, if you're not watching this live on YouTube, you're listening to us on a podcast, go over to YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Real Estate Brainstorming Podcast. It is on YouTube now. But as you can see here, this is what's really cool about EXP2. So every day there's training. I mean, look at this, from 7 until 2 p.m. Pacific time. If you're on the East Coast, then it's just 3 hours difference. Any of these things you can just pop into. When you're new, you may be wondering like, oh, well, I need to go get trained at a brick and mortar office because there's gonna be a mentor there that I can watch. Well, cool thing is when you are brand new with EXP, they literally assign you a local area mentor expert. So if we're in California, right? So let's say you're in Anaheim, California, you wanted to join EXP and you were brand new. You literally just got your license. You've never done anything yet. Well, we would assign you a local Anaheim expert who would walk you through your very first 3 deals, contracts, all of that. Now, let's say you're already experienced and you're like, well, I don't need all of that brand new training. I just want some expert training. Well, there's tons and tons. Icon series, you can become an icon agent with EXP, which is the top of the top. And then also what we were talking about before the call is, let's say that you want your weekly, like some of you guys might like going to the office for your weekly meeting, but really lately it's been Zoom or whatever. Well, now you can simply go to your weekly meetings right here. Let's say like Tom, you're in Florida, you would just click on this button here at 6:30 a.m. on Tuesdays, June 29th is your next meeting. And you would be taken right there to your literal state meeting for your brokerage as well, which is really nice.
Oh, another thing I'd like to mention too, Ryan, or emphasize, is experienced agents. I have taught agents, producers making millions a year, down to struggling to make a living. And it is so rare I run into one who knows anything about an IRA, a 401k, 1031 exchanging as it relates to their own wealth and as it relates to prospecting. The only reason I say that is sometimes you're absolutely right. You've been in it 5-10 years. You're doing okay. You got a decent income, and you say, I don't need any more help, or I don't need to broaden my horizons. Is probably a better way to put it. My prospecting horizons, and I disagree. You're leaving money on the table. I have never, ever, ever met a realtor yet, Ryan, anywhere in the country, who said, oh yeah, I just called my client list last week and asked them if they used their IRA for real estate. Have they thought about it? Ain't gonna happen. 401k, not gonna happen. Well, NAR will educate me, not gonna happen. My broker will educate me. EXP an exception, but most not gonna happen. Wall Street will educate, not gonna happen. My client will educate me, not going to happen. And if they learn about it, how they can acquire real estate, and you had nothing to do with it, Ryan, they're probably not going to call you. You're going to call whoever brought the idea to him or her.
Well, one of the things too, so that's the training. We've got that on board. We've got the stocks we've talked about a little bit. Another really powerful thing too is EXP does offer the healthcare, right? So through Clearwater Benefits, which is one of our EXP partners. Here, I'll go ahead and share my screen for this as well, so you guys can take a look at this. Again, if you're not watching on YouTube, that's fine. But Clearwater Benefits is an EXP partners. Healthcare isn't a one size fits all approach. Clearwater Benefits offers a wide variety of healthcare plan options to meet everyone's unique needs. Members on average save $10,000 a year on fixed medical costs and 80% on out-of-pocket costs when they switch to the innovative Clearwater Benefits.
Well, I know from experience, and you probably do too, most real estate companies, because you are, quote, classified as a independent employee, they don't offer anything like that.
Yeah, and I was just reading something. It said that on average, 36 to 48% of realtors out there, real estate agents in general, do not carry any form of health insurance.
Yeah, which is tragic.
Yeah, tragic. So that's a very scary situation, because if you run into an emergency and now you put yourself behind the gun. I mean, now you have to sell 25 houses just to pay your bills, you know?
Right. Right. Well, that's another phenomena with realtors, real estate agents. They take them all in, is even Social Security. And most of us do it. I understand. You gross 100 grand that year. You're writing off your office, which is part of your living room, maybe, or maybe you have an office dedicated, printers, anything you travel, anything you can to bring that 100 down to 12,000 taxable. And guess what? You pay Social Security on that, but it's such a small amount that you don't want to be trapped 30 years later and you're saying, what do you mean I get 800 a month in Social Security? Because all those years you trimmed it. That's all the more reason. That's fine, but all the more reason to be savvy and think about stock, which you will heavily offset that.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing that's a really great benefit, the elephant in the room, the one that EXP gets the most flack for, is the revenue share program. So you mentioned this the tiny bit earlier, the downline, or the nasty pyramid scheme. That's what they're trying to call it, all of this. But in reality, what I love about it, I've done network marketing, multiple different companies, done pretty well with them, made some money, never made it to the top, which is fine. The one thing that I found with that, though, is you're selling a product that is their product, right? And so the product could be a makeup, a lotion, could be a weight loss drink or something. Well, if you're selling a weight loss drink, they lose weight, they will stop taking that. If they get their results in their face, they'll stop taking that. The one thing about real estate is real estate's a real product. Real estate is always real estate. So like people are like, oh, it's a scam because you're building a downline. Well, the downline doesn't come out of your money. It does not come out of your referrals money. It doesn't come out of anyone's money, but EXP pays that. It's just a referral bonus and you get a little bit of that. So let's talk a little bit about the revenue share program here where you get, so for example, Tom, I am your sponsor, right? So you found EXP through me. So when you sell something, I will make a little bit of a revenue, a piece of that. The great thing is you don't pay me. EXP pays me. So it doesn't affect you in any way. It doesn't affect me in any way, except for a bonus, and it helps build the organization.
Well, it affects me in one way, and it's a good way, is if you didn't get something from what I make, you might be a little more distant. You might be a little harder to reach. But if you know my phone call might be an offer I'm working on, a counter offer, or some input, some help, whatever, and you know that you're going to do, I think, an ethical, good job, and you're going to be helping me, but also you get a little bit of reward for it. And I think that's real important. When you talk about skin in the game, when a broker has no skin in the game, the office is filled with people who, if they sell and close their sphere of influence, the broker makes money. It's a turnstile. And that's how they really operate. And I'm not going to say that's right or wrong, whatever. It did that for a long, long time. That's changed. And so you don't have 50-50 splits of the old days. So where did another 30% go if we're on 80-20? The broker kept it. And all the EXP is saying is we're willing to give 80% to you. And out of the 20, we're going to give up a sizable chunk for expenses, all the things we're offering and doing, as well as a reward to the agents underneath the sponsoring agent.
Yeah. And so what's really great, we've been talking about this a little bit too, about which team to join. Why would you join the team? For us, with the Double Your Income coaching program. But even on top of that, we have the National Association of Expert Advisors. So Double Your Income coaching used to be $10,000 to join the program and you were in it, right? And Brad was selling this and people were buying it and people were loving it.
They were buying, that's right.
But now he gives it for free. If you join EXP, well, right now, actually, we're giving free coaching regardless. You can literally join free Double Your Income coaching for free. You can reach out to myself or Tom. You can reach me on Instagram at Win with Ryan on Instagram. And you can also reach Tom at Tom. What's your Instagram? I got you to start Instagram. What was
Tom Brainstorm?
Tom Brainstorm. I love it. It's so great. So Tom Brainstorm on Instagram. So you'll be able to go and connect directly with him, or you can Win with Ryan on Instagram, connect directly with me. But now we can give you a free link. You can actually use our link, join Double Your Income coaching for free. and you can come in there and learn about how to be a better agent. And you don't even have to join EXP. However, if you want to, you get all the other benefits we were talking about as well, which is great. But so as far as revenue share goes, in the beginning, we have, so Brad, who runs Double Your Income Coaching. We also have Shane Hillier, who runs a Facebook, well, not even Facebook anymore, just in general, online marketing program. So how to get leads online, and the leads flow in. Like I woke up this morning, I got 2 leads already this morning, and they were $1.12 a lead. These are
Oh man,
I cannot believe it. It
can
is
you
so
afford
amazing.
that?
And so, and all of that, right? So all of that, plus we have on our team, Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, those guys, all of the training that they've done, which they were also charging $10,000 for their courses, all free when you join our program. And it is just like incredible. You would not be able to leverage that unless there was a monetary compensation for it, which there is.
Yes, that's truly it. And that's willing to give up some of the pie. Okay, here you go.
So here's the revenue share program. So for those of you that don't know the revenue share program, if you refer someone, so when Tom goes out and he makes a transaction, I will get a little piece. So as it says here, revenue share plan, EXP Realty agents can receive revenue share income from the sales activity of the productive agents they sponsor into the company. Agents earn based on adjusted gross income, AGCI, from the sales transactions closed by a personally sponsored capping agent and productive agents in their overall group. AGCI is dynamically calculated each month, so EXP Realty pays out and retains 50% of company dollar. So there's a chart here. Again, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're only listening podcast, go to YouTube, Real Estate Brainstorming Podcast. So the revenue share chart here on tier number one is 0 to 4 agents. So for me personally, I currently have 2 personally sponsored agents. So I only qualify for tier 1 at the time of this recording. I get 3.5% of the transaction. So
can you spend one moment on that? So for example, I earn a commission, gross commission, $10,000.
Yep.
Okay, it's in my hand, or in theory.
Yes.
Okay. 20% of that goes to EXP.
Yes.
Okay, and there's some transaction costs, E&O insurance, which I understand, but skip that for the moment. That leaves 8,000. So do you get 3.5 of the 10, or 3.5% based on the 8, or my net after I pay a few fees, or what?
So what will happen is the adjusted gross commission. So we have an 80-20 split, right? So you would get 80%, other $8,000.
Right.
And EXP gets 20%.
Correct.
I make 3.5% of that transaction. So EXP will pay me out of their 20%, my 3.5%. So
that would be $350.
$350. That's
okay,
correct.
Good. I just want to make it clear.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad that you covered that.
Yeah.
And so, and that will go away once you cap, right? Because once you've capped and you've paid your cap fee of $16,000 commission to EXP, well, there's no more money for EXP to share with you, right? They're not just going to pay you out of their pocket, obviously. So basically, or not basically, every agent you bring in, you would be able to make 3.5% of the $16,000 commission. So each representative that you sponsor into the company, you can cap out, and then that starts over every year, which is really great. So every calendar or every anniversary date year. So I started in March, my anniversary date starts over again in March, and everyone in my upline can start getting paid again next March. So now we go to level 2. So what's really cool, so 0 to 4, I have 2. Let's say that I sponsor 3 more people, and now I have 5 people on my organization, which is really great. So I have 5 people in my organization. That means that I just unlocked tier number 2, which now tier number 2 allows me to make 3.8% of everyone in tier number 2. So I have 5 people on my team. Tom sponsors a new person. Tom sponsors his best friend or his wife even. Tom's talking about his wife. She's a broker. She may be switching over. So now I have Tom in my level 1, Tom, your wife in level 2, I would get paid 3.8% of everything that your personally sponsored representatives do.
Now, if she came in under me, would I get 3.5% of what she produced?
That's correct. So you would get 3.5% and I would get 3.8% of it.
Okay.
So
That's pretty cool.
and then it keeps paying all the way down to 7 levels.
Yep.
So when it, like, obviously, you know, you were talking about retirement. Yeah, you can retire on stocks. Well, if you, as long as you are a licensed agent with EXP, you can continue getting paid this. So let's say that 5 years from now, you're like, production, I don't even want to sell a home anymore. I'm tired of it. I've got this revenue flowing in, it's passive revenue. I'm still representing my team. I'm still helping them. I'm still helping them get smarter and still helping them learn to be better agents. You can just stay a licensed agent and still continue to get paid on your revenue share portion of the business.
Well, couldn't you also, as we discussed, you're in Laguna Beach, you decide you want to kind of kick back and you have someone that came in your downline, could be first level, third level. The point is they're crackerjack, they're great, they're go-getters, they're ethical, they work hard, they're disciplined. And you say, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I still have people I know, could be everything from family to the Swinsons who bought before, and I know now their kids are buying. I'm just going to turn it over to you as a referral.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. So that's even the next level, right? So
Right.
let's say you've got this machine, you may already have a machine built. You may be at another major brokerage and you're like thinking about switching. You come over, you've got this massive machine, you start bringing a team in, you start giving out leads to your team members. You can just become a referral agent. Or even if you're brand new, it doesn't matter what level of business you're in. If you can generate leads and you can pass them out. Now, the best thing about being a referral agent with EXP is you literally log into our group online and you go, hey, I've got a lead in Laguna Beach. Who wants it, right? And you can feed that out. But if you have your own team, like for example, my team members that I have here locally, you're in Florida, so you can't do the California deals. But I have a lead right now that's in Westminster, California. I have a team member that's in Huntington Beach. I just say, hey, Huntington Beach team member, here's a Westminster lead. Let's go ahead and do this deal. I'll do a 35% referral fee. The transaction's yours. Would you like to do that?
Correct me if I'm wrong on this too. Another thing that intrigued me was EXP will sit down with every broker, our team supervisor, because there are some powerful powerhouses out there, as you know. They could have 8 incredible producing agents or have 40. And there's been some serious major defections from major companies coming over to EXP. Is EXP will sit down with them and they're not so etched in steel that they won't try to see if they can make it work. Because with a lot of team members, I understand, well, but Sally does this and Ralph does that, whatever. They'll sit down and see if they can work something out, which I think is great.
Yes, absolutely. They're going to try to make it work for everyone on the team.
Everyone involved. Yep.
Yeah. And so what's also really neat is when it comes to agent attraction, we have even a cap deferment program. So let's say, for example, we're in June. Some of these top performing agents are like, I capped in my broker, February, March. I'm at 100% commission the rest of the year. Well, if you want to come over, bring your team over, come over solo, does not matter. You can actually do a cap deferment. You can just show that you already have capped at your brokerage at whatever your cap level is there. And we will do a deferment for you. You can apply for that. And now you can come over to EXP. You're working 100% commission going forward. Now there are, like you said before, some fees that are still going to be applied to your transactions.
Right.
Which that's normal,
normal.
and so on.
Yeah, see, I think that flexibility, I think, is really great. And that, I think, is, in fact, I know is why some of the more notable companies, teams have come over that are producing 10 million, 20 million, $30 million a year. They're already doing serious business. And I've watched articles like Inman writes a lot about it. And a lot of them are incredibly happy they did it because they thought they were doing well before, but now they're just doing stellar.
Well, I've got the cap deferment application here. Let me go ahead and show you this. So this is the cap deferment application. When you come over, it says here, this is a formal request to match your previous brokerage cap and cap anniversary date. Completing this form does not grant you a cap deferment. All requests are carefully reviewed and considered before a decision is made, obviously, right? Please note the following criteria to apply. 1, you must already have met your cap at your current brokerage. Only closed transactions are considered for cap deferment requests. Cap deferment requests cannot be made by agents already active with EXP Realty. The name on the photo associated with your Google account is recorded, yada, yada. So that's mine. And then you just fill this out here. And then it's, I acknowledge cap deferment is for agents who have not onboarded or currently in onboarding status. Cap deferments will not be granted after I have become active with EXP Realty. So again, why do you want to join a team that knows what they're doing at EXP is these types of things. So if you are wanting to join us here at EXP, we're definitely glad to have you. Again, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to Tom at Tom Brainstorming on Instagram. You can reach out to me at Win with Ryan on Instagram as well. So we are looking to build our team. So we're really excited about where things are going. And we just keep having tons and tons of victories with our team as well. So it's great to see other members in our upline and the success everyone's having.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, I think EXP stock, and this is not a reason to buy it, but it jumped like 7% the other day. It has its ups and downs, but I mean, I just think projected over years or a decade or two is it's going to be a home run, bases loaded.
Yeah, I mean, we're not financial advisors, and stocks go up and go up and down. But when I was considering switching over, I went ahead and bought some stock prior, and they actually just had a 2-for-1 split because it was doing so well. They had to split it, and it's regaining its momentum that it had prior to the split as well.
Right.
So, all right. Well, hey, that's why you and I joined EXP. So anyone out there, all of you listeners, if you are considering joining EXP, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be glad to help you out. Also, if you are interested in joining Double Your Income Coaching and you're not with EXP, you can join. If you're already with EXP, you already have your own team, you already have your own coaching. We are not accepting applications for EXP agents. However, if you are not with EXP, we would love to talk to you, and we would love to see how we can help you double your income in the future, starting right now.
Also, I'd like to add as a tagline, if you're listening and you have a particular subject or question, is email us or contact us, Instagram, whatever, contact us. And we may do a little homework about it, do an interview, or have a guest on. We're always open to things that are relevant to the real estate world, and we will give an unvarnished look into it. We're not going to be a propaganda machine for ourselves or anyone else. And that's one thing I like about it as well, like working with you, is we're going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly.
100%. And also, if you are listening and you want to be a guest, if you have a topic that you would like for us to bring up, or you would like to listen to, and you have some great knowledge behind it, and you want to join our podcast, we would be absolutely happy to have you on. And we really do appreciate you all listening and watching. It's really a blessing to have you guys supporting the channel for sure.